Okay, so this is how you add water to an old battery. It's 2021 right now, November, and this is from 6/13. So you want to wipe off. This is just a paper towel with this little wet down. You want to wipe off the dust as much as you can around these inlets right here and get the dust away, because when you try to open them up, you'll shake dust down into the battery, which will cause you premature aging and dysfunction. All kinds of bad stuff. So I don't even know if these batteries are storable, but I had a neighbor that showed me a trick. He was destitute. He had a Ford, what was it, a Ford, basically a sports car, kind of old, run down, and he needed a battery, and I had an old battery that didn't work for me, so I gave it to him, and then he added water to it, just regular tap water, and he got to take a charge, and then he was able to start his Ford. And so I'm not going to use regular water. I'm not that destitute. I just went to the local store and bought some distilled water for $1.39. So that's not too bad for the times. And so I'm going to use distilled water. I always use distilled water. Don't use rainwater. Don't use tap water. Don't use spring water. Use distilled water. Next thing you need is some eye protection. This is, see? You can say right there, this thing can explode. It can spray acid in your eyes, sulfuric acid. One little drop of iota in that in your eyeball, you're done. So, get your eye protection. Yeah, they're awkward. They feel weird. Sometimes they impair your vision, but an operation's worth a lifetime of acid in your eyes, scarring and stuff. Get a flashlight too, so you can see down up in there. Now, if you're really high speed, get a funnel. I don't have one right now, so I'm lacking that. Make sure it's perfectly clean. So get yourself a screwdriver, and you know, I got some gloves too. Let me put some gloves on right quick. I always carry some rubber gloves on me, usually for work, but happens to be in my work attire right now, so works out great. Same thing, sulfuric acid on your skin. You may not feel it at first, but you'll start eating away your skin. So it's eye protection, skin protection. So as far as I know, I haven't done this in a long time, but you can take this thing on. Okay. You can take basically a screwdriver bit, flathead bit. Let me see real quick what I got here. Like that, and then pry these up. See how there's a little indentation there? Which way does it go, up or down? Okay, so I'm pushing down, now it's jacking this up. Nice. Do that one too. And these are supposed to be service-free batteries, but they still haven't figured out how to keep water from evaporating. So if we look down in there, the water should be like that at the bottom of the very bottom of that plastic. There's a term for that. Well, let me just add water now. It's starting to rain. Isn't that Murphy's Law in action? Let's add some water here. So it's like a plastic lip that touches down in there, and you want the bottom of the lip to be touching the water level. So yeah, about like that. Put a little bit more in that one. And you want to make sure your battery's low. I should have mentioned that. And I'm wasting a lot of this. This is not the best way to be doing this, but I hope I can help you out with this video. That one was good. And these are cells, individual cells. So that looks good. So we'll close this up. And why you want to add water for that is because the water gets too low. Do this one now. Ooh, like that. See how that's low? If it gets too low, it'll expose the plate, and that can cause a hydrogen explosion, because the charging process creates a little bit of hydrogen, and then if there's an arc and a spark, it can explode, and your battery can explode. So good thing I caught that, right? I had a battery explode on me at Group 20. Oh, that one's low too. Now there's some metric to it to where you can have a little bit of plate showing, as long as it's damp. It's not totally destroyed, but once you start charging with a plate exposed, you're risking a battery explosion, you're risking battery damage, all this other stuff. And as you probably know, that's probably good. I shouldn't be adding more. Just a tad more. A little bit. So as you may know, or not, lead acid batteries, they eat themselves, and as the years go by, if it's a deep cycle, it'll eventually degrade to nothing. So that should be good. So that's how you add water to a flooded lead acid cell. And I'm going to give this a charge, and hopefully I get a little bit more use out of it. But as they age, they start turning more and more with their water, evaporating more with their water, and it gets pretty wild. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. I want to make a useful video. This is Military Industrial Museum. Take my eye protection off here, and the research continues.